Hey everyone, in this video we'll be covering the quadratic inequalities, alright? So the quadratic inequalities, basically you're looking at quadratic equations and then trying to find a way to solve them. Basically find the range of values. So let's say we have the equation y equals to x squared plus 6x plus 8. We can simply factorize this to x plus 2 times x plus 4, okay? Now let's say the question wants us to find y, the range of values from y bigger than 0. So from here, right, what do? We know that with y is greater than or equal to 0, we know that it's basically x plus 2 times x plus 4 greater than 0. So what can we do here? Now, the simplest way is to actually draw the graph. Or if you're very good, you can just imagine the graph. Because the coefficient of x squared is positive, therefore your graph is positive, it's a happy face, it will be a U shape. Alright, a very lame way of doing it, but it works. So we consider the graph like this. I mean, that to be very accurate really. The roots are minus 4 and minus 2. Okay, now you want y to be bigger than 0. So basically consider the values of y that are bigger than 0. So you look at the graph, right? You look at the graph that's on top the x-axis because that's where the positive y values are. So the positive y values occurs at less than minus 4, right? So below minus 4, where below x equals to minus 4, you get a positive value for our function. Do note that you cannot include the value x equals to minus 4 because that will give our function as 0, which is not what we want. We did not include 0 in our inequality, so therefore x cannot be minus 4. Hence, the first solution we have is x less than minus 4. Now, same thing for minus 2, right? We cannot include minus 2 directly, so therefore the second part to our solution would be x greater than minus 2. If they ask for set notation, so this is range of values. If they ask for set of values, it would simply be x is a part of the reals where we have x less than minus 4 or x greater than minus 2, right? Alternatively, we can write x is part of the reals where we have x is an element of negative infinity to minus 4 union minus 2 infinity. All right, that took some processing to do because I'm not very used to the second style. All right, but let's say we do include 0. So now we have the greater than or equals to 0, therefore we have greater than or equals to 0. Very simple, we just change our solutions to greater than or equals to 0, greater than or equals to 0, and of course here we'll be using the square brackets instead. Although for negative infinity, we cannot use a square bracket, so it just be the square brackets on the right for negative infinity, including minus 4, and union, including minus 2, all the way to positive infinity, where we cannot include it. Alright, so this is the first example on quadratic equations. Now, sometimes the questions will not tell you exactly what inequality sign is. Instead, they'll use it through words. Alright, so sometimes you'll see that it is positive or negative. Actually, I'm not going to write down the full word. So we have positive, negative, or non-positive, negative, or never positive and negative, or always positive, negative. Okay, now let's take a look at the first one, right? If it's positive or negative, it's basically bigger than 0 or less than 0. Okay, now non-positive, what does it mean? Non-positive means it's not bigger than 0. As such, it is less than 0, including 0. Alright, do note that 0 is neither positive nor negative. Therefore, we have less than or equals to 0. The inverse will be true for non-negative, right? So it will be bigger than or equals to 0. Never positive, never negative. Same thing as non-positive, not negative. So we have less than or equals to 0 or greater than or equals to 0. Always positive, always negative. Same thing as the first one. It's just simply greater than 0 or less than 0. All right. So again, if you say that, let's say for this case, let's say we have when y is never negative. Okay, never negative. So basically, you're looking at y is greater than or equals to 0, which would then be x less than or equals to minus 4 or x greater than or equals to minus 2. Alright, again, set notation is just basically right there. I don't want to really write that again. Alright, so there we have it, the inequalities for our quadratic equations.